Продовжуємо роботу в українському кризовому.
We continue our work at Ukraine Crisis Media Center. Now the floor is given to Oleksandr Motuzyanyk, Ministry of Defense of Ukraine spokesperson, NATO-related issues. Welcome. Good afternoon, everyone. Now, information about the main events that happened yesterday in the anti-terror zone. So, the Lugansk sector, yesterday there were no military actions. The Donetsk sector, main military actions happened after 4 p.m. near Gorlovka and in Avdiivka, and also along the front line along the Donetsk airport. In Pisky, the enemy used fire of armored vehicles. In all other instances, the occupants only used small arms. And in all flash spots in Avdiivka, Pisky, and others, Ukrainian forces forced to return fire. And also, it is worth noting that the occupants carried out provocation at Mayorske checkpoint. At about 6 p.m., the militants opened fire with the use of small arms at the direction of civilians that were moving to the territory that is under control of Ukraine. Being on the line of fire, people were forced to flee at the positions of Ukrainian forces, who provided them support and security. And this is not the first time when Russian occupation forces put lives of civilians at risk and use them as a live shield when they carry out provocations. So on the whole, yesterday in the Donetsk sector, there were 14 enemy shellings. The Mariupol sector, the enemy violated ceasefire in Pavlovich-Shirokina part of front line. These incidents happened before dawn and in the evening. The militants twice used mortar fire, and the duration of the shellings were from 10 minutes up to 1 hour. During the last 24 hours in the Mariupol sector, there were 5 enemy provocations, and in the majority of cases, Ukrainian forces returned fire. During the last 24 hours, the 20th of September, in the result of the military actions, no Ukrainian forces were killed, but 1 serviceman was wounded. It happened in Avdiivka in enemy shelling. Also, we have an update about the losses among Ukrainian forces during the day before yesterday, on the 19th of September. Then 1 serviceman was wounded in the course of enemy shelling in Pisky. 1 more militant decided to change his life for the better and used SBU program that is called They Wait For You Back Home. Law enforcers identified that in 2014 the resident of Slavyansk region of the Donetsk Oblast joined the militant group. The man helped to set battle positions of the occupants, also was involved in household activities and provided access control. Then he understood that his actions are illegal, and he was disillusioned in the ideas of Russian world, and he fled the militants and was hiding for a long time in the house of his relatives in the Russian Federation and in occupied territories. And also he informed law enforcers about all the circumstances of his activity in the ranks of the militants, and now the court took decision to release this former militant from criminal responsibility. At the same time, Rapid Trident 2017 training continues. Assault Battalion of Armed Forces of Ukraine, according to scenario of the training, successfully completed the task of defending a site of landing of freight that was parachuted from American military transport airplane C-130J Hercules that flew from Starokonstantinovka, and the same mission was completed by N-26 of Armed Forces of Ukraine, and the valuable freight was for the defense of special forces and that were also participated in training. And paratroopers evacuated the dangerous freight from the site and brought it to the final destination. And at the same time, the servicemen of the 1st Presidential Brigade of the National Guard, named after Petro Doroshenko, provided support for the detachments of radio and chemical defense detachments to the region of the mission. And the column was attacked by imaginary enemy squad, and our forces repelled the enemy successfully and then surrounded and destroyed the militants in the building. And it is worth saying that the participants had to move in the imaginary conditions of contamination, and military personnel and equipment underwent deactivation procedure. Thank you.